What's going on, everyone? Rena, I got those approved for you. Got those emotes approved. Just starting everything up. Alright, we should be live. I think this is going to be members only, though. Yep. Change this to public. Renewing the battery. Oh. Been a day, been a day, been a day. What's going on, everyone? If you guys are over on TikTok, I'm going to go ahead and double tap that screen. If you guys are over on YouTube or Twitch, go ahead and hit that like button. How is everyone doing? Welcome to the show. Waiting for Jaden to join. Just give me a second. What's going on, everyone? Let's hit that refresh. Get that chat up. Good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everyone doing? I did a bunch of shopping for baby K because he's growing so dang fast. So that's what I done did. That's what I done did. Just give me a second. I'm getting in on this account. Hey. It's a Friday. Hopefully it pops off. Alright. We do have someone in the box already. I'm going to reset the sub goal for today. Almost got it yesterday. 30 subs on the night. Hopefully we hit it. We'll see what happens. Okay. 1 second. Alright.
Hey.
There.
Yes?
You sounds like you're in a tin can.
Oh, 1 second.
Oh. Anyways, if you guys want to double tap the screen,
Better?
comment, interact, help get some people. Yeah. Well, talk again?
Okay. What?
Talk again?
Hello?
Okay.
You're
yeah.
listening to the Tommy and Jaden Show.
You're listening to the Tommy and Jaden Show. So a couple of things. Double tap the screen. Let's go. We got to get this out to people. Everybody, double tap the screen. This is important. The first 30 minutes of the TikTok live are important. So if you're going to show up, let's show up. You know what I mean? Double tap the shit out of the screen. I got to talk to you about
You
something.
always got to talk to me.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Barely do. I'm just going to send it to you really quick.
All right. Yeah, see? You do say that a lot.
I barely actually talk to you, though.
I know, but you always say, I got to talk to you.
Yeah.
And then I'm anxious for the rest of the day.
It's not that serious. If it was that serious, I would
know.
Let me clarify. It's never that serious. If it was that serious, I would message you out the gate and be like, "Hey, where'd this guy go? Is he gonna join?" If you guys want to go ahead and double tap the screen, comment, interact, help get some people in here. I just got your news update. I was running around getting baby K clothes pretty much all day because he's
No problem.
growing.
Getting some snacks loaded up. I'm going to head out early today.
What time?
Photography thing later. Probably around 8.
Okay. Do we hit the... Wait. Did I not reset the sub goal from yesterday? Yeah, I didn't reset it. Okay, we'll start a new one. We're killing it on the TikTok subs, by the way.
What's up, boys?
1 second. Just give me 1 second here.
No worries.
I stand with the Gestapo. What's your take? Is Says I stand with ICE. But let's be real. It's just the Gestapo.
I would say Gestapo. I'd say just men and women doing their job.
Nah, I would say Gestapo.
What would make you say that?
Because they're
I
literally
mean, they're
running
disappearing
around.
people without due process.
I mean,
U.S.
that's pretty much
citizens.
it. Yeah.
Everyone's going through due process.
No, they're not. Let's be real. They're not.
No, they're not. Kilmar Garcia
Well,
wasn't.
What do you mean, Kilmer? They just made a bad decision to send him to Guatemala rather than where was he supposed to go? Sorry,
Did he have a trial?
he was supposed
that
to go to
determined
Guatemala,
that?
and they sent him.
That wasn't
to
the
El
argument,
Salvador.
though. Did he have a trial?
Huh?
Did he have a trial? Was he given due
He went
process
through enough
within that
trial.
order?
He even had a trial in 2019.
Is
Not
that
withhold
was
order
that
for
did
removal.
that result in an order to deport? No, it didn't. So it's not
Hold on,
relevant.
yes, hold on, Jaden. He got a withhold order for removal to Guatemala,
Right.
and they fucked up and sent him to El Salvador.
No, they gave
So
him
they
a
now
work
brought
permit.
him back. So you guys got to stop complaining about
No,
that.
he
and now
was
he's
here
getting even
lawfully.
Child.
No, we
thing
don't
charges,
have to.
so, yeah.
We don't have to. We absolutely don't have to give him that because Trump said he wasn't going to bring him back.
Well,
They
he
tried
did
to
bring him
move
back.
it. They tried to move a guy without due process to a country he's not from to be jailed in a country he's not from.
Did they bring him back?
It doesn't matter.
That wasn't
That-
the argument.
that doesn't
It was
have to
that
do-
ICE is disappearing people without due process, which happened.
And on top of that, yeah, there's the lack of
No, he
due
was
process.
still
The
gonna
whole
be-
argument is about due process, not whether or not they were denied due process and then given it later.
He was still going to be removed regardless.
Which, by the way, him being brought back was
You
not
didn't know
due
that.
process. Just so
I
you're
do know that he was
aware.
going to go to Guatemala.
What?
No, he wasn't.
That's where the withhold order for removal was going to.
Wherever they sent him, he
No, it
wasn't
was
supposed to be
to
sent out of
not
the country.
send him there.
Yeah, he was going to Guatemala.
He was not supposed to be there.
He was not supposed to go to El
He
Salvador.
wasn't supposed to be deported.
He was supposed to be deported.
Why? So you can't even tell me.
Because he broke in the country in 2011.
Okay, and he had a legal status at that point. After that point.
Yeah, and then he got charged by an immigration judge for being an MS person.
He was never charged with being an MS-13 gang member.
The immigration judge said he was.
No, he was not. Find me the court case.
I'll be right
He was
back.
never proved. Hold on a second.
No,
he
you
was
won't.
never. No. Because he was never proven to have been part of MS-13. But it does not matter whether or not someone's a criminal or not.
If
They're
an
still...
immigration
Listen,
judge
hey, I
said-
didn't tell you to interrupt me.
I get triggered. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, shut up. I didn't tell you to interrupt me. Thanks. It doesn't matter if someone's a criminal. That's not a prerequisite for receiving due process. It's like the fourth or fifth time you've interrupted me. Whether or not they're a criminal doesn't strip them of due process. So that's a dumb argument. Anything else?
Yeah, he was being deported because he came.
Do you have
in
a
here in
citation?
2011.
Do you have a citation?
Did he not come in 2011 and not claim asylum within his first year of being here? No, he forgot to do that. So,
Where's your citation for that, by the way?
you know that.
Just to point out, still lack of due process.
That's
You're not
a
getting
lack
to the
of due
crux of the
process.
argument. It is a lack of due process.
He can't. Okay, if you violate your 1 year of not claiming asylum, then
They
you
would
should
have to
just be
show
able to
that
get
in
picked up and
court.
leave.
The Supreme Court said bring him back. That's
Yeah,
what the
which they
Supreme
did.
Court said.
Which they did. So what's the
At
problem?
first, he didn't say that. At first, he said no, but they still denied him due
He didn't say
process in
no.
deporting
He
him.
didn't say no.
Yes,
Hold
he
on.
did. Want to bet?
No. He said
Do you
that
want
we're
to
not
bet?
going to go into El Salvador
That's not what he
and
said.
take
Nope.
a citizen.
You
from
don't
a
even know what
sovereign
I'm talking
nation.
about. He absolutely said that he's not bringing him back. That's what Trump posted on True Social. He said, Kilmar Garcia is not coming back.
I can't wait till his court case is done.
Can you address what I just
You
said?
should have wanted that to begin with.
No, because you guys are defending like.
Can
this
you
isn't the
address
court's
what I
case.
just said? Stop eating.
Listen, Mr. Piggy, want to put down that croissant?
Wow.
80 years ago, you'd have justified Auschwitz. Get fucked.
Oh, he's gone. Okay.
I know, because I kicked him.
It's funny because
He's
I'm eating
useless.
now.
These are the same people that would have been like, Anne Frank? Well, she shouldn't have been breaking the law, hiding from the cops.
She wasn't illegal.
Literally, like, all we're taught about in our history is this very fucking thing since the time we were in fucking elementary school, and they still fucking don't, it doesn't fucking calculate. Fucking crazy. Crazy. Anyway, we have a 30 sub goal on the day. If you guys want to support the channel, would appreciate it. You can sub on any one of the platforms. Subbing over on TikTok is 2. If you guys are over on YouTube, you can become subs over there. What's OHN? It's okay high. If you guys are watching on YouTube Shorts, go ahead and hit that like button. I think I'll have that monetized maybe in like a month or 2. I'm hopeful. I'm going to monetize in a month or 2, okay high, and then maybe it'll get sent out to more people. Give me 1 second. Anyway, if you guys are over on TikTok, we need 50K likes. If you guys want to double tap the screen, comment, interact, help get some people in here, would appreciate it. You guys want debates? You got to get debates. That's how we're going to get them. At a certain point, OK High should have enough followers to get debates off of YouTube. But it's kind of slow over there right now. It's going to take a while to build it up. Going to take a minute. Broke as fuck. Someone get Lucky a sub. Anyway, so there's that. How the stock market closed today, I don't know. Up 400 points or something. It's funny when Trump reverses his policy, how the stock markets go up. Isn't that funny?
I know.
That's always good stuff.
And they never acknowledge when it goes up under Democrats.
No, never.
Yeah. Every year you see a record in the stock market. This isn't anything new. It goes up all the time.
Kayla, appreciate the sub. Thank you. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat for Kayla? Appreciate it. We got 2 subs. I would donate? No, I'm saying someone get Lucky a sub. I'm trying to help you out. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? I do need to get some emotes put up over for YouTube. I'm going to write that down really quick. Some new ones. An orange taco shaped like a button mushroom. We got Jerry in the box. Bring Jerry in, I guess. How's everybody's day going?
Okay.
Tell you something cool. Twitch, too. Yeah, they're going to go up over on Twitch as well. Jerry. Jerry, what's going
How's
on?
it going? Going pretty good. How about you?
Doing all right. I'm doing all right. So what's your take?
I don't think that MAGA is fascist, because I just don't think that within America and within our two-party system there's any like space for a belief system as extreme as fascism. It's not something that is even comparable to anything that happens in modern day politics. It's a very distinct like structure of politics that existed in the 1920s and 30s and 40s. It's not really something that's an issue today.
What do you think fascism is?
Well, there are a lot of things that like fall under the umbrella of fascism, but usually it's the belief in an authoritarian regime where like it's a single individual or a very small group of people having almost absolute power. There's also a focus on...
No, it doesn't require them to have almost absolute power.
What do you mean?
That's totalitarianism.
That's not the only definition. There's more aspects to it.
Right. It doesn't, like, fascism isn't determinant of how far along in the fascist, the fascist acceleration they are.
Yeah, of course you can still be a fascist and not have absolute power, but you want to eventually reach that goal at some point. And that would be the goal. You might not.
He praised the decision today that gives him more authority with executive orders.
Again, you can be authoritarian and totalitarian and want power and not be fascist. Can we both agree on that?
Yeah.
Like there are plenty of totalitarian leaders that aren't fascist. Like I'd say Putin is totalitarian. I don't think he's a fascist.
No, Putin's absolutely a fascist. Yeah, there's no question in my mind.
I would disagree.
Well, I mean,
Because
it would depend on what your belief system on or what you know to be fascism. Because if you
yeah,
if you
then
don't,
I was getting to that. I was getting to
Tanya,
that.
appreciate it. Thank you.
So the other main, I think one of the biggest things about fascism, the main component that's kind of missing in modern American politics and even in MAGA is a focus on like class and on the removal of class and of having like a unification, a harmony between capitalist and workers like
No, that's not
and
fascism.
that's a big part of fascism. If you
No,
read
that's
actual
communism.
fascist literature, no, that isn't.
I've read a lot of it. Yes, that is. That's communism. Removal of class is communism.
Yeah,
Fascists believe
fascists
in.
want that too.
No, they
Fascists,
don't.
plenty of fascists, most
No, they
fascists are
don't. No, they don't
and
at all.
yes, they do.
They
They want to
don't. They believe
harmonize.
in. They don't. They believe in what's called class collaboration.
Yeah, yeah. I said, so yeah. The word is. I didn't say that. I should have phrased it better. They don't want to remove class entirely, but they want to harmonize the interests
Yeah, they
of
want to
capitalists and
they want to
workers.
harmonize it through what they call class collaboration, which is the establishment and the maintenance of social and economic hierarchies. That's not communist. That is
Yeah,
saying you have your place in society and it serves a purpose, do that. Period. We're not going to go after these hierarchies that exist. So if you're poor, if you're impoverished, if you're a worker bee, you're going to do that. If you're middle class, you're middle class. If you're rich, you're rich, and we're not going to address it. That harmony between those classes. Communism is about class conflict, which is that the lower on the tier you are, right? You should be unified with people that are higher on the tier, but not ultra wealthy bourgeoisie.
fascists still care about that though. Like if you look historically, a lot of the first fascist in 1920s were originally communists and socialists. Mussolini was a
One
communist,
second.
and like a lot of his beliefs are like very much influenced by like Marxist like understand. Like for Mussolini at least, I don't less so for Mustache Man, but
They
definitely
really
for
were. They
Mussolini.
believe in class consciousness. Jaden, can you handle this for a second?
Sorry, what just happened? I spilled something and just came back, but I assume Jerry has a bastardized understanding of fascism, and that's where we're at right now in the conversation.
Yeah, I would say that
How
fascism.
did I guess?
Fascism, yeah,
I
fascism,
literally haven't been
yeah.
listening for the past 3 minutes. I don't
Fascism
know
as it
where we're
existed
at.
in the
I don't know
1920s.
where we're at in the conversation right now, but
I can start. Fascism as it existed in the 1920s and 1930s, at least by my understanding, was something that was very focused on class consciousness to some extent. A lot of fascists, like Mussolini, Mustache Man, were interested in like class interests and weren't like entirely like loving of capitalism. They thought capitalism was decadent. They didn't think it was a great thing. I just don't think this is reflected in modern American
well,
politics. I don't think the
Gerald,
MAGA movement has.
I think your understanding of fascism is that it has to be entrenched within an actual action or movement, and separating that from the fact that it is very much an ideology, of which they are fascist and do believe in fascistic tendencies. I mean, we can break those down if you'd like, but I
But
don't think that there's any argument that the belief systems that they uphold and the ideals they have for the country are inherently fascistic.
I feel like I'm having a convers. It's like I'm having a conversation with someone with like a conservative that talks about like cultural Marxism or something like that, and they'll
Well,
draw like like enormously broad ideas of what Marxism or socialism is,
well, I
and they'll
didn't
like
say
paint
anything about
any
Marxism.
remotely
Can we stay
progressive
on
person
fascism?
as
Can we stay
being
on
that way.
fascism?
Hmm?
Can we stay on fascism, please? I didn't say
Yeah,
anything about
I'm just
Marxism.
trying. It's kind of like that. Fascism is a
No,
very
it's not.
specific ideology. It's not something that any
Right,
far
of
right or
which they
authoritarian.
uphold several tenets of.
Could you say that again?
Of which MAGA upholds multiple tenets of.
Again, you can hold parallel beliefs and ideology and not even be remotely similar to that ideology.
Would that not make you a fascist?
No.
Why would it
Like,
not?
okay, so do you not think that, for example, there are some socialists that have similar beliefs with a communist, that have some beliefs about class that like map on to like an actual like pure like a democratic socialist, for
I'm
instance,
saying
that might
that
have some
MAGA
beliefs that
embodies
map on.
most, if not all, of the tenets.
What? And list those tenets. And
MAGA,
the issue with the 16 tenets is that
sure.
they don't
I
actually
didn't
they
say
don't
anything about
reflect, they
16
don't tell
tenets.
you anything about actual like fascist or national socialist ideologies. They just are like descriptive. They describe things that happen in fascistic countries.
No, they
And a lot of those things are reflected in countries that aren't fascistic. Like a lot of
no,
the things that
they're
you'll see in the 1610 is also happening in like authoritarian, like communist countries too.
right.
They just it's just not a good way to measure whether your country is
No, hold
fascistic
on,
or not.
pause. You're misunderstanding. These are commonalities among major fascist regimes and major fascist countries. These things by Umberto Eco are shared across Europe through the interwar period. They're shared by modern day fascist belief systems. They are the characteristics that typically are adopted by people that are fascist. You can think of fascism as more or less a reactionary ideology. And the way in which the reactionary ideology manifests is through these tenets. That's not uniform. People within those in-groups will have differing opinions. The overarching theme of the in-group is that those things are either acceptable or that they're preferred or that they're prerequisites. They have to be. But there are people within these in-groups that are secular. There are people that are religious, right? There are people that believe that migrants are this enormous problem. There are people that just believe it is a problem. But how it collectivizes is through these characteristics. There are groups,
I would agree
like
with
there
you
are
to
countries,
some
hold on a second,
extent.
there are countries that exhibit certain characteristics but don't meet enough of them.
Okay.
They also don't have the
I
same
get
end
that.
goals.
My point is that if you're going to diagnose a movement as fascistic, you can't just go by the tenets. I just don't feel they're
I'm
an
not going
effective
off of
way
the
to measure. You
tenets.
have to look at what people actually believe.
I can give numerous different definitions. I can give my own, give Jason Stanley's, give Umberto Eco's, Roger Griffin's, list goes on. They qualify. James O. Paxton. They uphold these
Again,
tenets, these belief systems.
what else things that
Fascism, you can think of this. Fascism is a reactionary political ideology that is rooted in extreme traditional and conservative beliefs.
that's so vague. It can refer
That's
to
not really
so
that
many
vague.
other
How are
ideologies.
you defining
It,
it?
it can, it can
I don't know
refer
if
to
you
like
defined it
Can
earlier. I
you
wasn't
name
here, but
another? Can you name? Well, this is the way in which right-wing ideology manifests is into fascism.
you think all like far right wing ideology is always fascist, no matter what.
Is it always like far
Yeah, you think
right?
all like
Man,
far
far
right.
right inevitably turns into fascism.
No, I don't think so.
Yes.
I
Every
think fascism.
yes.
You're acting like
Yeah.
fascism is the end goal of right wing. Like
I
know,
don't.
like it's
It's
the
not the
final
end
thing. It's
goal.
not.
It's not the end goal. What happens is what's a pretty uniform characteristic is there's economic turmoil, and then these beliefs are promoted.
Okay, let me ask this: do you think monarchists are fascist? Like people that want to return to like a monarchy, that want to have like
No,
kings and queens again. You don't think monarchists are fascist?
no,
Why?
because humans there's a biological component in humans, right? And how that manifests is relevant to the political atmosphere in which it developed. So if you want to talk about monarchs, right? And who made this? I can't remember what scholar. There's a argument between scholars that fascism is post-enlightenment or it's not, right? Post-enlightenment would be post-monarch, sort of, right? It would be post-monarch. And so that would not really qualify because a lot of the things that develop are that. But when you look back through history, a lot of times you see very similar components. You can go back to proto-fascism. You can go back to certain aspects of the Confederacy were fascist, but didn't really meet that qualification. You can go back to ancient Rome, didn't really meet the qualification because it embodies a specific time period. Post-enlightenment. If a new enlightenment happens, the ideas that emerge will almost certainly be that. But you see sort of these commonalities happen, right? It's like one of the commonalities Wilhelm Reich pointed out was that in all authoritarian regimes and all authoritarian movements across the globe, right, is sexual repression, right? Because, and especially with fascism, it embodies this need to reproduce for the nation. But we see that throughout a lot of history, right? That's not something that would have existed in ancient Rome because it's part of the time period. In ancient Rome, that wouldn't have existed because they didn't believe that. They didn't have concepts of that. But you watch as there is these movements that emerge that embody fascist ideology. Doesn't mean they're fascist, just means this is a biological component of how humans operate coming through on a political level. I don't know if that made sense.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. So would you say that like monarchists are like proto-fascists in your view?
No.
No.
The reason why is because power, it doesn't inherently require mass mobilization or any kind of ideological loyalty to a monarchy. Like Queen Elizabeth is not a fascist.
No, I'm talking about like modern day monarchists that want to return not to like a constitutional
Modern day
monarchy.
monarchists are usually integrated in democratic systems.
No, you're I think you're referring to two totally different two things. There are
Well, then what
countries
are you
that have
referring to?
monarchies. There are countries that have monarchies today that have
There's only-
constitutional monarchies
there's only-
where there's like
yeah.
a constitution, there's parliaments and stuff like that. And then there are actual monarchists that want to return to like 15th, 14th century type monarchies with like almost absolute power for the
Okay,
king.
but
and
they
queen.
can't. They can't because they're limited by democratic governments.
Yeah, but that is
fascist
what
states don't
monarchists-
have that
people
limitation.
that believe in monarchy.
Right, so
They
okay,
can
so
believe
let
it
me
all they want. They
that's
don't have
their
the
belief.
power to enact that.
let's
I'm
create
not
the
saying
base.
they do, but that's the belief. That's the belief structures people have. They want to return to the type of monarchies that existed in like the Middle Ages, stuff like that. Do you think that's fascist?
No,
It's a
let's
fascist belief, yes.
let's
I would say no. It's a far right belief. It's not fascism. They don't have any
Okay,
beliefs
let's
about class.
establish.
About
But
class
here's the thing:
conscience.
let's establish
like-
let's establish what fascism is first, and then we'll move from there. Because that's kind of
Your example is very vague.
Yeah, like
And
would
I
it
also-
be
I was thinking
fascist?
about
I don't. I mean, the answer would be I don't know, but probably not. If you wanted to go back to the night, whatever, it depends, right? Fascism is far right, fanatical ultranationalism characterized by extreme traditional and conservative beliefs. That's the crux. That the nation has been derailed from its greatness, must return to a time of greatness. And I want to get to one more thing important here. Nationalism is important for fascism. Give me 1 second. What's called palingenetic ultranationalism, the return to national greatness, the national rebirth. Okay? That the nation has become plagued by X, Y, and Z. We must correct for these things. And if we correct for these things, we will go back to a time of national greatness. It relies on a national myth, a future or a previous national myth. For instance, right? In Italy, they sold this as the nation was great. North African and Slavic people have destroyed our culture. In Germany, Jewish people have destroyed our country, right? And how these manifest change. In America, Trump. Migrants are destroying our country. We must go back to a time of national greatness, make America great again, right? When you're looking at Italy and you're looking at what they prescribed, it's a return to national greatness. But the thing about Italy is they had only become a country 40 or so years earlier. Prior to that, they were nation states. So it had only recently become, so there was no national greatness, but they sell that to people. And intertwined with that are conservative beliefs. One of the things we saw in Italy that happened pretty profusely was monopolization, and this happened in Germany too, was monopolization of industry, was giveaways to the ultra wealthy, to the industrialists, which is the same thing that we're watching happening now, where an in-group of corrupt crony capitalism has now taken place and taken hold in America. And the same thing happened in Italy. You watch as they'll go, well, you need to take anything that's against the patriarchy, anything that's against the patriarchal family, anything that's pro-feminism, those things are ousted. You must have this type of relationship with your husband. He must be in control, and you must reproduce for the nation. It checks off the biological needs. It removes the ability and the want or the need for a person, for a man, to have any sort of emotional maturity, any sort of ability to communicate. It is just pure control. There is a hatred for arts and intellectuals, which is why Trump is attacking institutions, right? Like Harvard, which is why people come in here and they undermine the fact that I'm a content creator while simultaneously leaving here to go listen to content creators that are right wing by saying I don't have a real job. It is a devaluation of labor. It is the class collaboration. People that complain that we don't have the ability to pay for stuff, but also we don't want to raise the minimum wage because those things are necessary. The upholding, the class collaboration. It is necessary in America, in their belief, to have a lower class, a middle class, and a higher class. That's the whole thing. There's a lot of components to it that they check off. An obsession with national security. We have a scape group of migrants. And what's more fascinating, by the way, is that always is fascist contradictions, fascist cognitive dissonance, which is literally everywhere. A good example of this would be migrants are both subhumanly weak and superhumanly strong. They're so strong they're destroying the country, yet so weak they can't get past a wall. Right? Or contradictions about literally anything. What was the other contradictive thing that happened? There was a contradictive thing. It's like every day in the news something contradicts. Something
they say
major
that Biden
happened.
is a criminal mastermind, but is also weak and infirm.
Right. Or what's the other thing that just threw them for a loop? That Donald Trump is this altruistic great person. They're going after the corrupt swamp, but also, he's on the Epstein files, and we can forget about that. That type of
I
stuff.
think that's not unique to MAGA people though, because like you'll see people on the left do things like that. Like you'll see people like on all parties do that. Like people will say a certain political leader is like people will say about Trump that he's like mentally incompetent, and maybe he is. And people will also, on the other hand, say he's like a mastermind trying to tear down the country. So like
I don't think anyone's
people
called
do
him
this
a
all the time.
mastermind. No, I don't think
Some
that's
people
true.
view him that way.
And I don't think that's a
Some people do
contradiction,
view
but
him
I
that
think
way.
we've been pretty clear that he is just stupid and the things that he's doing are
If you think
destructive.
he's stupid and he's also trying to establish a fascistic state, I mean,
Because you don't have to be
kind of
smart
hard to
to
get
establish
this.
Benito Mussolini was a dumbass. He had mediocre intelligence at best. He was not
all
of
it takes
particular
is to
intelligence.
just undermine systems and convince people that there's something wrong when there's not.
He's
He's a great showman. He's able to do that. What he says is stupid, but his ability to communicate with people who are as stupid, if not dumber, is effective.
feel like any on
You're breaking up.
that sort of concepts.
Okay.
You're breaking up. In fact, when you look, it's really hard to find a component of fascism they don't check off. I thought really the only thing.
I
Like,
couldn't
I'd been.
my internet was really bad.
Oh.
Can you hear me now?
I think I think the only thing, like, and here's the thing, you will see crossover of certain ideas, right? So a good example of this would be Bernie Sanders wanting to return to a time of national, or it was in national greatness, but like worker greatness, right? But it's kind of comparable. And the whole thing is he had a want to return to an economic fairness system that was established in the 50s, 60s, right? So that people made money. That we had a working class, we had an established working class, a growing working class, and a working class that was joining unions, the expansion of unions, that type of stuff. It's a very distinct time in American history that is not and distinct. It is completely distinguished from Trump saying "Make America Great Again" because that's a nondescript time. If I were to tell you "Make America Great Again," anybody in here could make their own mind up about what that meant. But if I was to say, make America like the 50s or 60s, you're kind of, you know what I mean?
Do you think the National Socialists had no concept of what they thought was a great Germany?
What?
What you thought was like an equivalent. That's the reason they call it the Third Reich or the Fourth Reich. I mean, they had an idea of what like a greater like concepts were. It wasn't like they had an imaginary idea. They had a belief in something like the whole one.
I just want to point out too, really quick. I just want to point out too, Hitler wasn't of great intelligence.
I don't think he was
lukewarm. No. He was lukewarm intelligence, by the way. Really,
I think he's a mid. I think he's like 100 IQ guy. He's not like a genius, but he's like an averagely intelligent guy. I don't think he was like a brilliant person.
90.
Yeah, maybe. 90 would work.
Right.
But
So like you
I'm
don't
just
have to
saying,
be.
the National Socialists, they had an idea of what they thought was a historically great time. Like the whole Roman Empire was something that they looked up to as like a great like Christian empire of the past that was homogenous.
Yeah, that's part of the national myth. That
Yeah,
wasn't
exactly. But
true.
it's you were trying to distinguish what like Bernie Sanders believes in, say like a time of worker unity that existed in the 1900s, and what Trump believes in, because Trump doesn't believe in a specific period of national greatness. It's just like a vague America was great back then. But the National Socialists had a time period that they idolized, that they specifically kind of looked up to as a time when their like the aliens were were very successful and were doing well.
But they didn't model their societies after that. And then I
Yeah,
think
because
is the
you can't
distinguishing
really
part of
model
the
factor.
your
national.
society after the Holy Roman Empire in the 20th century.
I'm still talking. They sort of created
The Holy Roman Empire is
fantastical
not the
version
Roman
of
Empire.
a very romanticized version of the Roman Empire that they did not embody with their ideology, with their policies, with their beliefs.
Are
That's
you
not
talking
to
about
be
the
said
Holy
about
Roman
Bernie
Empire?
Sanders
The Holy
talking about
Roman
a
Empire
robust
is
union.
totally separate from the Roman Empire. They were like a
So which one are
Germanic
you referring to? Holy Roman Empire was Germanic.
Yeah,
The
it was
Roman Empire
not
was
similar. Yeah,
okay. So which one are we
the Holy
talking
Roman
about?
Empire is like a misnomer. It's not actually the the Roman Empire. They just took the name because they wanted to
I'm
like.
aware.
Yeah, that's sort of the point. Is they create sort of a node script example in history and draw upon that for influence without even specifying what made it great or why those periods of time were great to begin with.
Yeah, but they had a specific point in time. Trump doesn't have a specific point in time that he's looking at.
But they're not aiming for anything. That's the point of it. That there is no ideological aim or political position that they're aiming towards, symbolic of what happened in the past. Just that it was a great time and we should be great like that.
I'd say probably the things they'd emphasize are like more national unity that existed back then. Maybe like a more
There wasn't.
homogenous
There wasn't.
society. It's probably the
There
things that
wasn't. They
they
weren't
wasn't national
homogenous.
unity.
There was no
the
homogeny.
whole,
That's what.
the whole
There
Roman
was no.
Empire.
No, no. It was made up of Germanic tribes. There was absolutely no unity other than the name. Like they weren't homogenous. They came from a ton
Yeah,
of
that
different backgrounds. There's no you cannot point to the Roman Empire, the Holy Roman Empire, which I think they were mostly modeling after the Holy Roman Empire. It was kind of like whatever they needed, in that sync. But you can't. There's no homogeny between them.
I would agree. I would agree with you with that. But like the
Right.
National
So that's
Socialists,
the but that
they
right
thought it
right.
was
But that's the national
homogenous.
myth. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
national myth right there.
but the thing I'm trying to get at is the contention you were making was that, for the example of Trump, he has a national myth that's not rooted in any actual historical setting or reality. And Sanders, for
Right.
example, has a national myth that is rooted in reality, in like actual like workers' movements that existed in 1930s, no, not the
Right. But
1900s.
right. But
But
his
what I'm trying to
didn't
point
just
out is
draw
there
after
is a
that.
historical background to what the National Socialists thought was the ideal society. There is some. It might not be accurate or realistic or even remotely true to what life was like
Right.
back then,
That's the
but there is a
national
background
myth.
to it.
Right. That's the myth. That's the nationalistic myth. That is the palingenetic ultranationalism. Return to a time of national greatness. The national
Yeah,
myth.
that's not something that's unique to fascism either. That's what I'm trying to point out. You
That
can have
absolutely, yeah, it
myths.
is. It is. Yes, there's not another thing that you could point to that is of that volition anywhere. You can try. There's no other movement in world history that you could point to
That
about
has
nationalism.
national myths.
Nope. There's not one.
I mean, I can't think of
Well,
one
no,
off the
not
top
that
of
they
my
don't have
head, but I'm
national
certain that if I
myths.
did,
No, not that
if
they
I
don't have
said it,
national myths. No, no, no. Not that they don't have national myths. It's the return to national greatness. It's the return to the nationalistic myth. We
I
have
think this is
national.
true in
We have
so
national
many, like,
myths. Can you name there like the return to national greatness, right? The national rebirth. That's fascist. We were on this thing where the nation was great. This happened, bad, and it's almost always a scapegoat, and now we're here, and we have to return to that time of national greatness.
It depends. I like, for example, I can think of an example that might not fit perfectly, but it's similar. Um, my 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 parents are Nigerian, and there are a lot of people in Nigeria. If you talk to, they have this idea that post the Biafran War, which was like the big civil war that happened in Nigeria, like after the British colonial rule ended, about like a decade after, um, they kind of view that period before then as kind of a paradise. Like they think it was an economic boom. Everything was perfect, and it was better back then, no doubt. But it's lionized so much in a lot of like Nigerian people's minds. Like they view it as like the ultimate time to return to, and it isn't actually. If you do any research on it, it wasn't really that great. Things got worse with the Biafran War, but they weren't very much better before then. But if you talk to a Nigerian now, it's like a collective thing that like life before the Biafran War was a glorious, and we should return to that. Like I haven't been there in a while, but most people that I've
Right,
met
but
that
it's
talk
it's
about it
the-
have
it's
that like ridiculous
Having
belief.
nostalgia isn't inherently fascist.
right.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
we were this, even though we weren't, right? It was great, even though we weren't. This group did this. This group
Mm-hmm.
is the reason, and now we have to return to a time of national greatness.
Yeah, and
Just
I
saying,
can
like,
actually draw
like for
a lot
instance, the
of
Confederacy
mhm.
probably was pretty nostalgic pre-Civil War, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that it's inherently fascist. Nationalism, by the way, too, is a component of that. I don't know the degree
Mm-hmm.
that nationalism exists within Nigeria, but here
Mm-hmm.
and other places in Europe is very, very prevalent. Like, for instance, you won't find fascism in Afghanistan. You just won't see it because there's no nationalistic want. So,
Mm-hmm. Well, what I would say
David,
is
appreciate it. Thank you for
this
the
doesn't
sub.
work perfectly. This doesn't
Thank
work
you,
perfectly,
thank
but
you, David.
its similarity would be in Nigeria. A lot of people that are Southerners or Igbo or Hausa, they'll blame the northern people for the biggest because they'll blame usually the Hausa for the most part for being the cause of the war, and there
Yep.
are all
All
sorts of
right. Can we
scapegoats are
move
thrown
on,
about.
please?
Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you. I think I've gone over enough. Good book to read on this is How Fascism Works by Jason Stanley. It's not a very long book. Give you a pretty good insight, at least in the rhetorical characteristics of fascism.
Oh,
And
I'll give it a read.
yeah. All right.
Thank you for having me out.
Mm-hmm.
All right. If you guys want to support the channel, David, appreciate the sub over on YouTube. Go ahead and sub. Hit that like button, comment, interact, help get some people in here. Jaden and I sent a message. I know he suggested this earlier, but we haven't talked about it in a while. I think we're gonna do a charity thing for live stream. I don't know how it's gonna work for the gift goal. Maybe we'll do it like one day a week. It'll actually cost me money because I have to pay taxes. Yeah, I actually have to pay taxes on it. That's fine. But I think we'll just do a gift goal on TikTok where all of the tips go to, whether it's subs or coins, goes to a charity.
All right.
So we can sort of spark that up. Maybe do it like once a week or something like that.
Yeah,
So
that
we'll figure
works.
it out. How's everyone doing, Jaden?
I'm tired. Been busy, swamped. I got another photo gig tonight, and then red carpet event at the Chinese Theater tomorrow. They're screening a short film I was starring in, so I got that. And then another big ass shoot the day after that, and I'm ready for this month to be done. Sleep. I need a vacation. Again.
Yeah, I had a pretty long day. I went and got, he jumped in and scared me a minute ago. I went and got, and I was right in the middle of recording. I was like,
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I had
gonna
spilled
use
something,
this.
and then I came back and you just left, and I was like, ah, shit.
I was like, oh, I was going to use this debate. Okay, whatever, never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, we went to the thrift store, and I found a brand new pizza oven, an electric one. It's an air fryer. It's an air fryer that's in the shape of a pizza oven, so you can cook pizzas in it and whatever else you want to air fry in it. And I was like, yes. And it was kind of expensive. It was like $70, but I looked it up. It was $150 on Amazon. So I was like, basically just. And I've been looking for one for a while. So there's that. I bought him a ton of clothes today. Ton of clothes. That's what I did. Flip? No, I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it. I want it for the trailer. But it's an electric one. It's really nice. And the other day, like a week ago, I don't know, it's more than a week and a half ago, I was at another thrift store and I found for $12 a griller and a panini press. It's like a griller slash, I mean, it looks like a panini press, but I guess you can use it for grill anything. And it was like $12. I looked it up on Amazon. I was like, oh, that's really nice. I didn't even check the thing. It was brand new. And I looked up on Amazon. It was $150.
Well, damn.
So, I made out
I never
like
have
a
any
bandit.
good thrift store experiences anymore.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Everything I find is like somebody's great uncle got shot in it or some crap, or the dog pissed in it and there's a bullet hole in the fucking back or something. Nothing looks good. It's all faded. It smells. No matter how many times you iron it, it's still wrinkly.
I happen to like me a good thrift store. But I got him a bunch of clothes. I got him a ton of clothes. It cost me a shit ton of money. I'm talking about it.
That's cool.
The chat isn't working right.
Uh-oh. Kids are expensive. That's why all of my kids live in my socks. Kidding, that's gross.
There's an issue with the YouTube chat. What's the issue? I don't know what's happening.
What's going on?
I don't know. Lots of names have changed or reverted to previous versions. I didn't do anything. I can't do anything.
All right.
Hey, Josh. We're going to go over the news here in a second, if you want.
Yeah, I got the stories up.
Anarcho Hound. Please don't be an anarchy debate.
Oh, yeah, this guy. He said, well, what did you say? Fascist Dems militarize cops?
Wait, one second. All right, what's going on?
The Democratic Party has militarized cops and deployed them against protesters. They funded
No, they haven't.
Zionist Hitler.
What?
They are completely controlled by
Get
monopoly.
the fuck out.
Yeah, I know this weird dude. You're going to go immediately. Yeah, this guy was in here last time. You need to go talk to someone. Let me be super real for you. That was fucking crazy last time he was in here. Last time he was in here, he just went off the rails. It's the most unhinged thing. And he thinks he's super sane. And here's the thing. You're not. I'm going to be real with you at all. And the crazy thing is, people think they're getting... What's this thing? There's this movie where this guy's like, am I going crazy? And he's like, nah. Crazy people think they're getting more sane.
Yep.
Fascism Democrats? You mean fascist? You mean
No,
fascist? 150 IQ PhD? You're an idiot.
Yeah, I got it.
Whenever I can tell you this for 100% certainty, anytime anyone has ever told me that they have a high IQ in an argument, I know they're a fucking idiot. It's every time. My IQ is 25. It doesn't matter to me. I don't need to run around and tell you what my IQ is. I'm going to beat your ass up in a debate and you're going to sit there and take it. That's what's going to happen.
IQ is such a dated measure.
It's really a bad metric. It's really bad. It really calculates pattern recognition and how quickly you are at recognizing patterns. That's it.
This square is slightly different than the other one.
It works good for mathematicians, but I don't know about you. I like to think on stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, y'all want to hop in the box? Debate about what?
Yeah.
God bless our genius billionaire two-term president. Trump is a lot of things. Billionaire genius is not one of them. Trying to make him out like Bruce Wayne.
They think
Heads
he's
up on
Bruce
this.
Wayne. That's the thing.
Heads up, I got the mute. Hello?
Yo, what up, everybody? I'm
What's
not.
going on?
I'm not. I think how you say it, opposition. I just wanted to ask a question that's probably trite. First off, I'm pretty new to TikTok. Every time I come across your channel, both you and the gentleman beneath me, Jaden, are always super. You're just super respectful. But I guess my question to you guys is because
No,
I've
we're
asked.
not.
Well, you're not, but you give the energy that you need to. You know.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. I've asked this to Good Trouble when he had me up, but I hope you give me a little bit of a better positive answer. What's your conversion rate of getting through to these brain drain mongoloids?
Hey,
It's
let's not use that word.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's low. Yeah, it's actually a slur. I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that
Jaden
either.
didn't
I'm sorry.
No, it's
Yeah.
okay. Jaden found out on
Hey,
live
thank
too.
you. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Every once in a while, one just pops up. You're like, really? That was? I don't even know. What's the
know.
conversion rate? What's the conversion rate? 1 in
I mean,
100.
I'd say it's difficult to quantify because oftentimes we do put arguments in their heads and they don't come back to refute them. So I'd like to think that there may be some humility there and they've come to their senses on a certain talking point and don't care to show up and admit fault, which is,
Right.
you know, there's a great deal of pride that comes with whatever you believe in, and that hurts their ego when they do have to come in and say what I believed in is wrong. But we've
I mean,
had
that's
people that have
respectful
come in here and have said we've learned something new, we've changed our affiliation, we've no longer thought what we believed is the case. So I don't know how we put that into a numerical value, but I'd say that there's a pretty fair amount of people that do.
That is much more
AJC,
positive.
appreciate the 5 gifted subs. AJC, appreciate it. Thank you. I would more like to think that I debate people and argue with them and put something in their head. They're like, that's not true until it comes true. And then, you know, like just
Right.
plant a seed of doubt,
Right.
you know?
I commend you two and Good Trouble and all creators like that. I truly don't know how you guys aren't beyond jaded, but you guys are wonderful. Yeah, thanks for having me up. That's all I wanted to say. You guys are chill and good luck to y'all.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. How are we not jaded? You notice it comes in cycles. Like there'll be times where like I'm 3 months in, no time off, and I'll be like, oh fuck, I hate these people.
Yeah.
You know, like luckily I've had enough like going on in my life with the content creation that it's kind of like given me other stuff to think about, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a ton of stuff going on. But most time, like once every 3 months, I'm just like, fuck, I fucking hate this. Fuck, I hate this. Like that, I don't know if that's the same for you. It's like, fuck, just need like time off. You know, I take like 2-3 days, and I'll be like, okay, I'm good. AJC, appreciate it for the 5 gifted. Thank you. Could we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat? He made peace with Congo? You mean the peace that Biden went to go establish back in December when he was on a mission there? 1 second, Jim. All right, Jim, what's going on?
Just listening in. I'll see
Okay.
you guys.
What's your-
Yeah. I'll
What's
see
your
you guys
take today?
I just wanted your opinion. If you change your opinion on vaccines and all that people were forced to take.
Am I still alive? Am I alive or am I a ghost?
You're alive. All the homeless are alive
Cool.
too. That didn't take anything.
So, Jim, really
interesting.
quick, you've had
Yeah.
4 years to find me some evidence, and I know that you've been in here a lot since then.
I've been here the
so
odd
where
time.
is so cool? So where is it?
I got probably 10 or 20 dead friends that took vaccines. There you
Oh
go.
my God,
you
no
establish
fucking
a
way, Jim. How
causation?
old are you? Hold on, Jim. How old are you?
I'm 67.
So
That's
most of your
about
friends
right.
are probably in their 60s or 70s.
Yeah.
Seeing how there's like a
Yeah,
what
a lot of
90% vaccination rate. What is it? 80 or 90% across the United States. of at least some shot.
I'm from Canada.
You can imagine that so that would mean most of the friends that you have been vaccinated.
A lot. No, I got no friends left because they all got vaccinated. There you go. That's real funny, buddy.
It
Real
was pretty
funny. Keep laughing.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
So how about this? Can you give me the most concise, just one example of a friend that passed away that was vaccinated and what they died of? If he says car crash, I swear to God, I'm gonna start rolling on the fucking floor.
That'd be a good one, right? No, they've all been forced to have transplants.
Just name one. Just name one person.
I'm not naming no
egregious
name.
form. No, you don't need to name them. Just pick one example and something they went through.
They were forced. Went for transplants. Before they got the transplants, they had to take the vaccination. Guess what happened?
What?
It will reject their fucking transplant. Just so you know.
What mechanism would there be in the vaccine that would cause their organs or whatever to fail and prevent a transplant?
I honestly don't know, but if you wanted to donate blood,
that's fine. What kind of transplant was it? What kind of transplant was it?
Heart and lung.
Okay, so it's not in your
bloodstream. They had a heart and a lung transplant, and you're surprised that they passed away.
Yeah, I know.
You know two people that had transplants. That's crazy.
I know way more than two.
What are the odds?
So wait. What happened in this instance?
Well, they get full-blown cancer, just so you know. The cancer's all in remission, whatever, and...
Oh my God. Listen, they took the vaccine, right? Now, this one person you're talking about, did they have a heart or lung transplant? I swear to God, man, They had a heart or lung transplant.
Yeah.
Which one?
Okay, pick one. Fuck. Pick one. I said pick one person.
Anyone.
Pick one person.
Pick anyone.
Tell me the facts around it.
Do the statistics worldwide, buddy. You guys are so far out of touch.
We're talking about your friend.
Yeah, I'm just saying do it worldwide.
We're asking about you, the person you know.
Well,
obviously, we're close to them. You know their medical ins and outs.
I'm fine, buddy, just so you know.
Not you, your friends.
My friends are all dead.
I know. We want to know. Fuck.
I don't know their...
We want to know what could have caused that. You have some kind of inside knowledge about their medical history that we don't.
This guy, I'm going to be real. This guy's, Jim, your doctor literally and everyone around you has to pound their head into walls regularly.
Okay.
I've asked you for pick one person and what happened in the lead up to their death.
Okay. I'm from Canada, Ontario. We had 30 doctors that are 30 to 40 years old.
Jim, stop talking.
That's too fast.
I asked you for your friend.
I'm not talking about them. That's my sister.
We asked you about. You were talking about him.
Okay, Jim, you don't know anybody that died from the vaccine, man. You're wrong. Period. There's no evidence at all.
Who died.
Well, I can't.
How do you make the determination? So you can't prove that they died of the vaccine. So what's more likely, they died of the vaccine, or their body rejected it because they had a heart transplant?
Whatever.
Gene, I got
they
feedback.
Were forced to take it before they could get a heart transplant. How's that?
It sounds like bullshit.
You have to get it. You have to have all the vaccines before you get a transplant. That's the way it works.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Totally unlogical.
Okay, so what evidence do you just said I can't prove that the vaccine did this. So do you have any evidence the vaccine did this or not?
I believe it did.
You have feedback.
What?
Not I believe. No. What evidence do you have?
I can't prove it. I'm not a doctor or whatever. And
oh my God. Okay, so listen, then don't say that. Like it's true. Don't say it like it's true. You don't have any evidence.
Well, you guys threw Trump under the wheel or whatever for ivermectin and all that.
Why is this debating? Why are we deflecting to this? We're talking about the one thing you don't know. So you don't have any evidence. So why are you up here?
Because your girl was ever trying to get me on her, wouldn't leave me alone, just kept texting. I didn't request. Believe me, I didn't request to get on her. They just wouldn't leave me
you're
alone.
on
I
here.
kept posting.
You don't have anything.
I know,
I've
I
been
didn't wanna get
vaccinated for
on.
4 years. Hold on, I've been vaccinated for over 4 years now,
Yeah.
and I'm alive
Good
and
luck to
fine.
you. Good luck
What
to
do you mean good luck to me?
Are you
I'm alive and
vaccinated?
fine.
I'm saying good luck to you. That's all I'm telling you.
Okay, listen. And good luck to you. Fuck.
I've got
Jim,
narrow.
do you know,
wore a
Jim?
mask in the mall
Jim,
too, right?
Oh, shut up.
I did wear
There you go.
masks
You wore a
because
mask that don't work.
yeah. They
Right?
did work. Jim, can you
They
tell
did
me
not
how
work.
can you tell me how the vaccine works?
No, I know masks don't work.
Okay, then don't know anything then. Don't tell me you know masks
Well,
work
you
or
got
not.
no clue.
Listen, do you know?
You
Listen. We do have
You
proof.
got no clue,
There
buddy.
are endless. Stop
Masks do not
talking.
work.
Stop talking.
Okay, I'm shut
There
up.
are endless. There are endless studies at this point. Endless studies looking at
Okay, go
everything
ahead.
that you're saying, and they all come to one conclusion: masks work. Vaccines are safe.
How much
Vaccines
would
are
you like to
effective.
bet? I'll give you $1,001 on a dollar. I'm $1. I'm $1.
Oh yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
I tell you what, let's
Yeah.
make it fun, Jim. We'll make it fun.
Yeah.
I pull up more
Yeah.
meta-analysis about masks being effective than you do.
How much you want to bet? I don't care if they tell you they're effective. They're all fucking fake news.
So wait,
So what- how
and
do
there's
we- how
nothing
do-
we can do to prove it to you.
Well, you got to get one of those medical masks, right? That's maybe
Well, we're just
effective.
asking, what would we have to show you to convince you otherwise? Because you won't
You
believe
can't show me
anything we
because
give
it's
you.
impossible. They
Then
don't
why
work.
are you making a bet?
I'll bet you.
So you're making a bet you can't lose. So hold on. You're making a bet you can't lose because you won't accept the evidence.
You might as
The
well
name of the
put
game
a
is called
fucking,
I Win.
a fence on your
Then-
face to.
The name of the game
You
is
know
called
how
I
small the
Win.
particles
So wait,
are?
no, Jim. You have set yourself up to never be wrong. You can never be
No, I've been
proven
wrong. Lots
wrong.
of times, buddy.
But then
been
how
wrong
are you
lots of
supposed to be wrong on this? If I go and I pull up 5 different meta-analysis, which are the highest degree, the highest win over analysis and studies that there are, and you were to find nothing, what does that say? You would just turn around and say, well, it's fake news.
It's all fake news.
Jaden, you're still, I got still got feedback. How am I supposed to prove it to you?
You can't because it's impossible. You can't prove it. Masks don't work.
I know you can prove that masks work.
How'd they come up with the 9 feet?
Jaden, can you
or
mute?
3 feet, 12 feet, right? You really think
They
masks
came
work?
up, but it's an aerosolization. What?
You really think masks work?
How would you determine? So let me ask you a question. If you were to prove that masks work, how would you do it? But better yet, if you were to just find out, you have to ask a hypothesis, right?
Yeah.
So how would you structure? How would you structure the actual study?
Well, the particles are so small the mask can't stop them.
That's not what I
Just so
asked
you
you.
know.
How would you structure a
That's the
study?
fact. That's the fact.
No.
There's
How would you?
There's no study.
How would you structure a study? How would you create a study to find out if masks work?
I already know they don't work. I'll give you $1 million.
Jesus Christ, this guy is fucking... Dude, I literally am asking... You're not even understanding the question I'm asking you. This is so profoundly pathetic.
Well,
How would you structure... Let me finish the question because you ain't listening to it.
Go ahead. I'm
How
listening.
would you structure a study to show whether or not they did or didn't work?
You guys are the pros.
So maybe
Answer
you
that,
go out
please.
into populations that wear masks versus ones that don't and see which one is more inclined to get COVID.
There's no such thing as COVID either, by the way.
Then how are
you're
you to say
profoundly
masks
fucking
work?
stupid. We live in a world of really stupid people with really stupid beliefs and stupid thoughts that really, really, really make me rethink Darwin. Just gonna be real with you.
We're regressing as a society.
Oh my God. Nutcracker, appreciate the 30 for the kick. Appreciate it, Nutcracker. Can we get
Nick, still
some
there?
dubs and drumsticks in the chat for Nutcracker with the 30? Nutcracker, thank you. I did see it a minute ago. I just wanted, it wasn't even that long ago, but I did want to make sure that I got the debate for that so that I had the content. Not that I can use it on TikTok or anything, but Jesus. What? It amazes me that there are so many stupid people in this world that think they're wildly intelligent. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
That wasn't Ferret Head. Might be his dad.
No, Jim's been in here a long time. Someone said it's called confirmation bias. To ask you how to structure a study? The fuck are you talking about? Me? You talking to me? It's not confirmation bias. Confirmation bias would be like, how would you structure? It would be confirmation bias to create a study that proved that I was right. It's not confirmation bias to say, how would you structure a study to prove it, to see if masks work or don't. Ah, good Lord. I hate when people are stupid. That's the worst.
Me too.
Dumb fucking people. Anyways, we got 8 out of the 30 subs. If you guys want to sub over on TikTok, help out with the coin goal, would appreciate it. Does help get people in here. Does help get it out on the For You page. Does help get us some content. So if you guys want to double tap the screen, see if we can get to 100K likes, help out with the gift goal, help out with the sub goal. And if you guys are over on YouTube, hit that like button. You guys can sub over on YouTube or Twitch. Gift subs as well at any one of the platforms. Nutcracker, appreciate it. Here is some cash to get this guy a new tinfoil hat. Appreciate it. Thank you, Nutcracker, for the 30 for the kick. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat? I'm going to check Venmo Cash App. If you guys want to support the channel, there's a Venmo Cash App in the channel. Oh, David, I just saw this. David with the 45 over on Cash App. David, can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat? Going to add that. We got 45 in the kick pool. I'm going to hold that over till Monday even. Nice. David, appreciate it. Thank you for the 45. Nutcracker, also, again, appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Edward, appreciate the 10. That live yesterday about OM's arrest was epic, legendary. That POS deserved that karma. Edward, appreciate the 10 over on Venmo. Could we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat? Would appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and be suing. Putting together GoFundMe. Because 2 defamation cases is a lot. So that'll be coming out probably tomorrow. I don't really want to wait till Monday. Maybe tomorrow. So. I don't like this.
What?
It says Fascismo Italiano. Jaden, you got feedback. And it's showing up in the recordings too.
I can't do anything.
Do you have a mic?
This is my mic.
Can you turn the volume down maybe?
Sure, I'll try.
Is it like playing the I think it's picking up. No, I think it's picking up your audio.
They don't hear it.
I can hear it, and I can hear it when I go to edit the video.
It might be on your end.
No, because if you mute, I don't hear it. Like, I don't hear it right now. It's not fine. I'm trying to get it fixed because it shows up in the audio recording.
Well, I'm not doing anything different than I did last night.
I don't know. I don't know what's causing it. I don't know.
All right, well, do you want to add Mussolini?
Wait, what?
The guy in the box.
Not really.
All right.
I'm a chemist. This guy says, debate me or scared. I'll give you a Google number for $30. I got better stuff to do. Plus, I got to get to the news because Jaden's got to head out of here. Do I want to let in a fascist? Not really.
No, yeah. Well, let's try it.
No, because they always take like third positionary shit, and I don't really want to argue with them on that. What microphone are you using, by the way?
I have a Mayono PD400X. The one I've been using for a year. The same one I used last night, Tommy.
Which one is this? I'm just seeing. What's moving?
A good-ass mic. I'm just adjusting it.
Mayono PD, which one?
400X.
Is it dynamic or condenser?
Dynamic. Maybe if I turn off the fan and sweat profusely.
Does
that
it
make a difference?
Do you have like headphone plugins?
Yes.
You want to try that?
Try what?
Plug it in the headphones.
The headphones are in.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay, well, stop now. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, it must be the fan.
Huh.
Don't know how.
Maybe it's like, oh, you know what it probably is?
It'll be fucking hot. What?
Because it like, I noticed this too, like when you, like certain frequencies will activate microphones because you know how they're not always activating, they're not always picking stuff up. Like a lot of them have a cutoff now. I don't know if yours does or if the phone does, but yeah, it has a cutoff frequency and so it won't show up. So like, you know, you can watch videos and listen to people on the phone without them hearing the video. So
Let me try turning it down.
I don't like this.
Trump is a kike-loving nigger. He's a no good. Trump belongs in the gas chamber with the rest of the kikes.
Damn.
Why do they always come in on? I thought it was supposed to be white pride. Why do they always come in on a fake account?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
Oh, it's because of the shame.
They're always so ashamed, you know? It's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny that they're so ashamed. Yeah, see, I can still hear the feedback. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But
Let me turn off my fan and die in the heat then. Better?
Second. I'm clearing this out. Make sure these are gone. I'm just making sure all of the videos are on the up and up. Okay.
Better?
This guy said you get angry very quickly. You are irrational. Buddy, you have sent 25 fucking messages. Chill the fuck out. You're literally the only person on there. Stop talking. Jesus Christ. Good Lord. Anyway, I'm a chemist. I know COVID. I went to school for criminal justice. That means I know appellate law.
Just tell us you've got a lab in your garage. We've
Yeah.
all seen Breaking Bad.
All of us.
Yes.
Yeah, see? No, I still have it.
Well, I don't know.
You gotta find a way to deal with it. I don't know what to tell you.
How do I do that?
I don't know. Try out a different setup. Try using just your phone.
This is the only thing I am using just my phone.
No, without the mic.
All right. Well, then you'll have... How's that sound?
Eh.
Eh?
Wait, don't do anything for a second.
Okay.
Okay? Hello?
I don't like this because it's further away and I can't hear directly.
Huh. Something you have is giving feedback. I don't know. You got a new phone, right?
I had this phone. I got this phone in like February.
Yeah. I don't know why the audio's so great. Maybe try plugging it back in? I don't know.
Well, shit. Dr. M wants to debate the chemist.
Who?
Dr. M?
No. Wait, is it gone? Still
I
kinda
don't
there.
know.
I don't know. I'm just trying to make it so that I can record it and then it's fine over on there. I don't know what it is. I don't know. There's something about it that's causing feedback. I don't know what.
Okay, well, I turned down the mic again. Is that okay?
Let me see.
What?
It's kind of there, but it's good enough.
Well, I have the mic on the lowest setting. It won't hear my funny quips.
Oh, sorry. I mean, it sounds fine.
Does it?
It's not
Can they
me.
hear me okay?
It's not me. David, appreciate it, David. Thank you. It's not me.
All right.
Wait. Wait.
What?
Hold on. Hello? Why is
Stop.
it? Hello? What? Hello?
What the fuck?
I'm just testing.
It's probably you.
I'm just testing.
Hey, come back.
Wait, mute. Hello? 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 Nope, it's Jaden.
No, it's not.
Anyway, we got 8 out of the 30 sub goals. If you guys want to sub over on YouTube, would appreciate it. Nutcracker, appreciate it. Thank you for the sub over there. Thank you. I'll add that in there. We got 9 now. And Whiskey, appreciate it. Thank you for the $2 as well. Canadian up here, no recorded vaccine deaths up here. Yeah. Yep. All right. Bro thinks he's Dean. Buddy, I've been doing this about 5 times longer than Dean. Right? So, if anything, Dean's acting like me. All right. You want to get into the news?
I don't know. Can I?
I don't know. Can you?
I don't fucking know anymore.
I don't know.
You
We
tell
gotta
me.
we gotta sort your mic setup. I gotta get you a new mic setup.
All right.
It's gotta get done. I'm gonna check out. Yeah, like it's there. You guys can hear it over on YouTube. It's not like the worst right now, but it is dealable. But I was doing a debate the other day where it was like, damn. David with the 5 gifted subs. David, can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat for David on TikTok with the 5 gifted subs? That's 10 for the gift goal because they're more expensive over there. If you guys want to go ahead and... Can you stop blowing up my chat, weirdo? Fuck. Can we get some dubs and drumsticks in the chat for David? David with the 19 subs. I told you, $30 fucking and we'll debate. I'm not wasting my time for anything less. I'm not running any capitalist scheme. I just think you're a fucking idiot and a waste of my time. Period. I'm sick of coming across toxic arrogance and everything we know. Shut up. Shut up. Fucking weird ass Swedish bitch. Anyway. All right, we debating?
All right.
Or we
have news. Yeah, I got that
okay.
ready.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get it started. All right, Jaden, what do you got going on for the news?
Well, the top story in today's roundup, the Supreme Court on Friday limited the ability of lower court judges to block executive branch policies nationwide, opening the door for a majority of states to at least temporarily enforce President Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship. With their decision, the justices appeared to upend the ability of single federal judges to freeze policies across the country. The powerful legal tool, known as a nationwide injunction, had been used frequently in recent years to block policies put in place by Democratic and Republican administrations and gave rise to charges of judge shopping. Now, I think some points of clarity here that we need to deliver. The 14th Amendment has not changed. If you're born in the U.S., you are still a citizen, period. What's happened? The Supreme Court has said that lower judges can't block Trump's immigration orders nationwide. That's it. That's all that the ruling stands on. Did they say that the order is legal? Nope. Did they say that it goes into effect now? No. So the policy is still blocked. His move to end birthright citizenship is still blocked. It just has to be challenged by district instead of an all-at-once injunction. This is a procedural win, not a policy win. So there's no reason for MAGA to celebrate this or for anybody else to panic on this. This is just a mere shift in priorities here.
It's not a thing to panic about yet.
Right.
It will be. Because here's the thing, right? And this is the concerning part about when you have these appellate districts. So let's say, for instance, on the West Coast, which is the 9th district, that they come to this determination that Doge can't do this, right? And it's a nationwide injunction, right? Or I'm just using an example. I know it's for executive orders, but I'm just using this as an example. Maybe we can find a more apt one. Like Trump orders this executive action that's very clearly illegal. It allows for Texas to do it. So say, for instance, Trump orders an executive action targeting this whatever, right? Whatever he wants. Let's say he wants to target Medicare, right? Well, in the 9th, it's the same, they need a legal remedy. They go to court in the 9th Circuit, right? And it gets appealed, whatever, goes to the appellate courts, and they issue an injunction. It only applies to the 9th Circuit. So if those files are being messed with in Texas or DC, it doesn't apply. So the question then becomes, how do you enforce it? What do you do? Because if the 9th Circuit is saying you're affecting people in this circuit and they're over in DC is where this is being done, how do you mitigate that? How do you navigate that? It also opens up a big can of worms in that the Trump administration could get real creative, move various different government agencies down to Texas, where the Fifth Circuit will uphold whatever he says because they're ideologically nutbags, and they could rain havoc. Because then every other district, no matter where people are getting, where they're suing for legal remedy, right? Like none of them are going to be able to get it, because if it's in Texas, they go, we don't recognize your law, right? So it opens up a big concerning can of worms. The other thing is here is going to create a patchwork system across the country where things are not being applied equally. It's going to become chaotic. It's going to become very, very chaotic. I know that this is a new practice of the last 25 years or so. I think it is now needed more than ever because of how extensive and big the United States is, and data centers, various different agencies that are now handling stuff. It would make sense. So there's a lot of questions that we don't really know, but it is going to create chaos. And ultimately, what this is a power grab from the Supreme Court, because it gives them the ability to oversee more of this. Where it's like, okay, even if someone in the Ninth Circuit does something, it's not going to affect everyone. We don't really have to worry about dealing with it. But if they do something really chaotic and we want to overturn it, then we can take it, right? It allows for these courts to do things and not beat other districts to the thing. Now, I'll admit, right, there are problems with national injunctions. There's 100% problems with them being applied and used very clearly ideologically. The problem is that Trump is targeting the law. He's targeting our rule of law. He's targeting the Constitution. So now you're in a position where that rule of law is in question because he can go elsewhere. He can enforce it in places that don't recognize that district. List goes on. And so it's going to create chaos. It's going to create problems pretty extensively, the extent of which I don't know. It really, really, really is exacerbated by the fact that Donald Trump just attacks the law. And this is going to make it easier for him to attack the law. Is there anything major that's happened? It didn't remove birthright citizenship. It didn't do X, Y, and Z. No, but there will be issues in the future, very clearly. And we've seen this in the first 6 months where specifically courts in Seattle in the 9th were blocking and issuing national injunctions. And now that's just not going to happen. So I don't really know what's going to happen, but look for chaos.
Yeah. So ultimately, what it does is it clears the way for this order on birthright citizenship to go into effect in something like 28 states that haven't challenged it. So we're going to see different rules applied for different sects of the country as it relates to rules on citizenship. And I think that's ultimately going to create a discombobulated and disjointed standard for who is and who does apply for citizenship. Next story. Let's see what else we've got here. Another Supreme Court ruling here. So the Supreme Court says that Maryland parents can pull their kids from public school lessons using LGBTQ books. The Supreme Court ruled on Friday that Maryland parents who have religious objections can pull their children from public school lessons using LGBTQ storybooks. With the 6 conservative justices in the majority, the court reversed lower court rulings in favor of the Montgomery County school system in suburban Washington. The High Court ruled that the schools likely could not require elementary school children to sit through lessons involving the books if parents expressed religious objections to the material. The lack of an opt-out, Justice Samuel Alito wrote in the court, places an unconstitutional burden on the parents' rights to the free exercise of their religion. Ultimately, don't say gay. For parents this time. And I don't really see any reason as to why one would have an objection for that, regardless of their religion. If this is curriculum, if this is history and part of our society, what reason is there, religious or otherwise, that would negate facts from being told?
Yeah, your religion shouldn't be bigotry. If your religion is bigotry, it's not a religion. It's a cult.
Right.
It's just hate.
And you shouldn't have an exemption for that.
No, not at all. I don't care what your religious beliefs are. Religion should not include hate. We couldn't imagine a world in which religion included people of color.
Right.
And stop them from that. Like we couldn't, that would be incorrect. That would be crazy. But we have somehow galvanized and gouged out a part that attacks a more marginalized group just because religion.
Yep.
Yeah. Wasn't there one more case from the Supreme Court today?
Yes, there was. We've got another case here. Where is it? Trying to find it. What was the other one? Do you have the list?
Yeah.
But in the meantime, environmental groups sue to block migrant detention center rising in Florida Everglades. Environmental groups filed a federal lawsuit Friday to block a migrant detention center dubbed Alligator Alcatraz, now being built on an airstrip in the heart of the Florida Everglades. The lawsuit seeks to halt the project until it undergoes a stringent environmental review as required by federal and state law. There is supposed to be a chance for public comment, according to the lawsuit filed in the Miami federal court. Critics have condemned the facility as a cruel and inhumane threat to the ecologically sensitive wetlands, while Republican Governor Ron DeSantis and other state officials have defended it as part of the state's aggressive push to support President Trump's crackdown on illegal immigration. If they're subjecting them to alligator torture or conditions that would make that easier to happen, that is not detention, that's torture. That is inhumane practices. You're subjecting them to an environment and a climate that is hostile and not favorable and harms their ecosystem there. This is not an ideal situation and not an apt punishment for whatever the crime may be. If they broke in, if they crossed the border illegally or what have you, sending them to an alligator-infested prison is not an apt response to that.
I agree. Yeah.
It's cruel and inhumane.
Yeah. Pretty nutso stuff.
You have the other story?
Sorry. Environmental groups, the detention center, Eric Adams.
That. No, wasn't there another Supreme Court story?
ACA.
Thought I listed 3. Ah, yeah, the Affordable Care Act. There we go. Let me pull that one up. Let's see where we... here it is. So, good news for the Affordable Care Act. The Supreme Court... There it is. The Supreme Court limited judges' power on nationwide... wait, wrong one. The Supreme Court preserves a key part of the Affordable Health Care's free preventative health care coverage requirements. Good. Should not be touched to begin with. It's coming down on a slate of different things that the Supreme Court has ruled on, but I don't see why, for any reason, that should be affected. Why it even got brought up to the Supreme Court is beyond me, but that's good news from a day of detriment coming out of the Supreme Court there. And the case with Eric Adams here. New York Mayor Eric Adams launches re-election bid after tumultuous first term. With supporters waving campaign signs and chanting 4 more years, New York City Mayor Eric Adams formally launched his re-election bid on Thursday from the steps of City Hall, framing himself as a blue-collar candidate with a record of achievement and his upstart chief rival, Zohran Mamdani, as an inexperienced opponent making empty promises. The quote says, "I'm so proud to be here to say to the people of New York, I am seeking re-election to be your mayor for the city of New York," Adams said amid a loud applause from an enthusiastic group of supporters standing behind him. 64-year-old Adams' first term was hounded by federal charges of accepting illegal gifts, including plane upgrades and hotel stays from Turkish businessmen and officials in exchange for preferential treatment. Some Democrats have criticized Adams for meeting with the Trump administration officials on immigration enforcement, and federal prosecutors under the new administration dismissed the corruption charges against him. He's not backing down. Not at all.
Leoff, appreciate it. Thank you for the 5. Even though it's important for the future of the U.S., the SCOTUS legal stuff is depressing. Go back to debating the quality of Jane's mic. Sorry. Go ahead.
No.
Yeah. Did you get my text?
Yeah, which one did you want to talk about?
Oh, no, that's good. You can go ahead. I just wanted to wrap it up after this.
Yeah, no, that's all the stories here that I've got. Oh, yeah, big one here. As it relates to trade, Trump is ending trade talks with Canada. That's the big one coming out of the day. President Trump said Friday he's put an end to trade talks with Canada and will soon announce a new tariff rate for that country, he said in a post on Truth Social this Friday. The decision to end negotiations, which have been ongoing for several months, came after Canada announced a digital service tax, Trump said, calling it a, quote, direct and blatant attack on our country. Quote reads, based on this egregious tax, we are hereby terminating all discussions on trade with Canada effective immediately. We will let Canada know that the tariff they will be paying to do business with the United States of America within the next 7-day period, he said. Trump has taken particular issue with DSTS throughout trade negotiations with other countries, commonly referring to them as, quote, non-tariff trade barriers. Canada has a new DST that is set to take effect on Monday that will be retroactive in 2022. Now, I can say I cannot tell the future, but for those that were touting the record high closure of the stock market today, which was expected to happen, we can only see that another massive tariff on one of our biggest trade partners is not likely to keep those numbers running strong for very much.
Yeah. Yeah. The attack against our trade partners is going to be really detrimental in the future, especially at a time when we need pretty much every country in the West to come together. They want to beat China, but in the same respect, Donald Trump keeps attacking countries that are supposed to help him beat us or beat him. So I don't know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's really detrimental. Is that the news?
That is the news. Yep.
All right. There we go.
Okay.
Jaden, I think we're gonna call
Yep.
it. Something came up. Plus, I got Baby K. So.
No problemo.
All right. I'm gonna go ahead and head over to YouTube and post this. If you guys want to support the channel, there's a Venmo Cash App in the bio. Alternatively, you can join the Patreon. I'm gonna try and go live tomorrow. I do have Baby K, so he might be up here listening. So, anyway.
Alrighty.
All right, everybody. You want to pick somebody to raid over on YouTube?
Yeah, let's see. Who's live? Good Trouble's live. Parker's live. Which one? It's kind of a flip of the coin. Let's go with Good Trouble. He's got less.
All right, we'll raid Good Trouble. Everybody go head over to Good Trouble, and I will see you guys tomorrow.
Alrighty. Sounds good. See you later.
Sorry I'm ending it early. Something came up. I will see you guys tomorrow, though.
All right.